So today we will study about solid state physics. So what is solid state physics? Why we should study solid state physics? These kind of questions will come into our mind. So firstly I want to clarify that solid state physics, why we are learning it. So the course has twofold objective. Two objective. What types of objective, you may ask? First, our goal is to prepare for NET JRF. Prepare for NET JRF. But I warn you and I must tell you that our entire focus is not only on the exam. Actually, I have watched many lectures about the state of coaching in India, and I want to tell you that it must be interesting. So my second goal is it must be interesting, and you must learn something new about physics, not only just how to solve problems and everything. We will learn about some new physics also. So that is my main objective, and in that the byproduct is that we will prepare for the NET JRF, and I hope that it will be useful for your studies and you may gain something new. So please, let's now start the course. I'll remove this so we can start. Okay, so our first objective is, you may ask, what is solid state physics, or what is कंडेंस मैटर फिजिक्स. तो अगर मैं विकीपीडिया से ये कंटेंट उठा के सीधे बोल दूँ तो इसका मतलब ये है, ये विकीपीडिया वाला पार्ट है ये. तो अबाउट कंडेंस मैटर फिजिक्स इज द फील्ड ऑफ फिजिक्स दैट डील्स विथ माइक्रोस्कोपिक एंड मैक्रोस्कोपिक फिजिकल प्रॉपर्टीज ऑफ मैटर. इन पर्टिकुलर इट इज concerned with the condensed phases that appear whenever the number of constituent. मतलब कुल मिला के सीधी बात ये है कि जहाँ भी बहुत सारे पार्टिकल एक साथ आ जाए और आपको लगे कि कंडेंस फॉर्म में मटेरियल है, तो उस मटेरियल की स्टडी ही कंडेंस मैटर फिजिक्स है ना. इनका सबसे अच्छा एग्जांपल्स हैं सॉलिड्स, लिक्विड्स और इनके ऊपर लगने वाले इलेक्ट्रोमैग्नेटिक फोर्सेस से, ठीक है, इन एटम्स के बीच. तो इनकी स्टडी. The book I will be following is the Oxford Solid State Physics by Stephen A. Simon. It's a really interesting book. Actually, this is the sole reason why I am starting this lecture. Firstly, I hated condensed matter physics, and secondly, I found that condensed matter is not a deep and useful subject from the point of view of physics. But this book proved me wrong, and interestingly enough, the writer has the same view of condensed matter physics. At that time he was graduating in physics. So let's start. So we have talked about a little what is condensed matter physics. And condensed matter physics is nothing that just we study about matter which is in condensed phase. Condensed phase means like solid, liquid, atoms are really together. Okay, now we go on to the second part. Why do we study condensed matter physics? What is the meaning and why? You may ask, why is it? So you may know that it's useful, है ना. You know already that it's useful. Why it's useful? Consider you're watching this maybe on the computer or mobile, and that works on semiconductors. So that is part of solid state physics. So it's useful. First part, it's useful. For example, if you want a fighter jet of latest generation, for example, we are talking about 6th gen, a better aircraft, then you need better materials. Okay, so this kind of usefulness. Then Physics is not about always useful or everything. Physics is about knowing nature. What we will study about nature. Second point comes in nature. So, about nature. Here is the answer is twofold. First, the things all around us are solids. Solids are liquid, means condense. So if you ask some question about the world around us, then in some kind of way this question arise from solid state physics. You can answer that question from solid state physics. Okay, any question you ask about, except sun or I say moon. If you leave those two real life examples, then most of the questions come from the solid state physics. Why liquid is wet? Okay, why water is liquid? Why water becomes ice at low temperature? So these kind of examples, these are all solid state physics questions. Okay, third example, I must say this is deep. Deep means this is not just another subject where we will just go through mechanics. Let me elaborate. Suppose there are many new physics we have understood or learned from solid state physics or condensed matter physics. How? New physics, for example, new exotic particles. New exotic particles means new exotic particle example, magnons. These types of particle you will find only in the materials. Phonons you may know. These types of particles does arise in solid state. Okay, these are not real particle, but we can understand physics really well by assuming that they exist. Okay, so these kind of things, and some this branch varies from experiment to theory that can rival string theory. Okay, so this much deep theory is involved in solid state physics. CFT correspondence, you may learn about this. Okay, so this kind of thing. Now you heard it, and I think it's really vast. Around 70% of physicists work in this field, and the topic range from minute experiment to a theory which can rival string theory. Okay, so this is all about why do we study condensed matter physics. Okay, it's useful, we can understand new things about nature, and this is deep. Okay, so I list it's useful. Second, it's about nature, we can learn about nature from this. Third, it's deep. Okay, why study solid state physics? I think I answered these questions before. It's deep, it's useful, and we can learn something about nature from this. Okay, and there is one more. Reductionism doesn't work. Reductionism doesn't work. What this means? This means, suppose we are just hard pushing for particle accelerator, bigger the better particle accelerators, suppose LHC for example. Okay, so what do we in LHC? We just smash together some particles and new particles arise from this, and we study these new particles. But the problem is, these new particles, we can learn about new particles, we can all study about particles, but some properties come from groups. groups of atoms. You cannot understand these properties on the basis of single particles, and if you add together this particle, you may expect that this property will come randomly, but no, this doesn't happen. You can't explain on this. You need a group. Okay, you cannot say that this particle, I understand this particle very well, so anything made up of this particle can be understood by me, but that is not the case. You need to study the bigger system and its nuances, its new structures. Okay, so this can't be studied by its constituents. So we need solid state physics or condensed matter physics. Okay, so here I raised my arguments why we should study solid state physics, what we can learn from just studying the what we call cell, what we can learn from crystals, from what we can learn about nature from just studying crystal structures. So we can so the argument is that we can learn a lot actually. Thank you. We will study about this topic rigorously in the next chapter. Thank you.